Hey guys, and welcome to the real DDP. Today I am in my little hovel dressing room on the set of Pizza Man. Today it is Wrestling Wednesdays, and we're going to take a break from the Macho Man feud because there was another passing of one of our brothers, Chris Kanyon. Really was like a brother to me. And today I'm going to talk about Chris and pay tribute to him because I couldn't go to his funeral, which really bums me out because I know there'll be a lot of guys there that were there over his run and became really close friends with his, and I'm sure they'll be there to pay tribute to him. And since I can't get out of work, I'm already locked into this. I'll be here and saying a few words about Chris. I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit about Chris. Maybe you didn't know. For starters, he was college educated. He had his degree in physical therapy. Chris was actually making, I want to say, over 60, 65 grand a year when he left the real world that, went to school, worked so hard for, to follow the dream, like so many people try to do. But he was focused. He gave up $60,000 a year plus job to follow the dream of being a wrestler. I believe the first place he ended up was in Memphis, working for Memphis territory and making $25 a night because that's what you do, especially back then. He found his way to the power plant where me and him became friends because I was always down the power plant because at that point in my career, nobody would give me an opportunity. So if I was lucky enough to go on the road, I would go wrestle on the road. But when I wasn't on the road, I was down the power plant. And all the guys would come down there that would be trying to get jobs. The funny part is, most of the guys, as soon as they got the job, they never came back down the power plant. But I did all the time because I kept wanting to get better. And so did Kanyon. And he really, really worked hard. In the beginning, I was trying to tell him to focus that as good as his wrestling was for being so green, he was a natural. But he didn't want to hit the weights. He didn't want to build his body. And I was trying to explain to him that it's not just how good you can wrestle. There's plenty of guys who are great wrestlers who never made it. You got to have a look, you got to have a rap, you got to have somebody banging on my door, you're running into it. You had to have the total package. And as Chris would go on, he'd work on that while he was just literally going out and, a lot of you don't know, but it's enhancement or job matches. And that's a guy who just goes out there and gets guys over. And that was Chris's spot. And when he'd make that $150 for the night, up until he got his contract. And I believe I might have said something to Eric around that time. Hey, take a look at this kid. He's got some skills and he can really work in the ring. And Eric gave him his first deal. And what was the scenes that happened behind the scenes that no one will really know about was when it came time, because Kanyon was such a mechanic in the ring. He could orchestrate. He's like probably one of the best psychologists in the ring next to Jake Roberts as far as understanding when and what to do to create the big bump. And of course he took a lot of crazy bumps too. So it was somewhere in between Jake, who said he one time had 100 moves, now he had 5 at the end of his career, and Cactus Jack, who of course has done every crazy thing you could ever do, and still could really wrestle. Jack was an incredible mat wrestler, believe it or not. So Chris, he worked on teaching the guys down at the school while he was teaching himself. And we always thought that the more you taught, the more you learned, the better you got. And when you finally got that opportunity, you could do something with it. He put together it was sort of my project. It was sort of under all the radar when we came up with that Mortal Kombat thing, which really could have been good if it was just handled by the booking committee with, like, they wanted it to happen. They didn't really like that because it didn't have anything to do with them. It was actually, I'm going to get called right now. Yo.
You want to go over lines?
Not right now because that's another thing.
Okay.
The other scene first. What is banging out there?
Okay, they're moving on to scene 46 now. They're setting it up.
Yeah, right. I'm going to do scene 46, then I'm going to come out. I'm just doing this tribute, okay? Sorry about that. So he became my right-hand man to the whole Mortal Kombat thing. He became Mortis, of course. Ray Lloyd was the first guy that we actually really hired to do that because he had martial arts skills to be Glacier, and then there was Wrath, and of course the Cat, Ernest the Cat Miller, would later it's become the Cat. But putting that whole group of guys together was sort of like Canyon's baby, you know, working it all together with Andre at FAX, FAFX, and that was the special effects. They were coming up with the costumes and the look and everything, and actually, it was a good middle of the card stuff. It never got to where it could have got to, but either way, it was a great effort, and he had a lot to do with that. Chris also had a lot to do with everything really to do with Ready to Rumble. That just became, Eric just gave him that project, and he literally became Oliver Platt in the ring. So anytime you see Oliver where he looks like he knows what he's doing and thinking, damn, he looks damn good in the ring, that was Chris. So Chris was Oliver Platt used to get so pissed off we would call it the fat suit. Chris loved to call it the fat suit. He loved to do a good rib, and he loved to talk Falkenbergisms. Falkenberg's my original last name before Page became my legal last name, but he'd always call me Falkenberg. Oh God, we got another Falkenberg story, and he'd get on the phone with Ray or Kidman or whoever, and they'd share a good laugh. And Kidman, Kanyon got a lot of guys jobs. He, of course, a lot of them came through me to get that introduction, and at some point Eric gave him the whole, they came with those junior, the cruiserweight division that he was expanding it and bringing the young kids in. All those kids that came in, from Jimmy Yang to Shannon, Gregory Helms, who, all those kids who were coming up because Kanyon put them in that spot. He helped a lot of people live their dreams, man. A lot. Gregory, as a matter of fact, there's a picture I'm going to put up here. It's of Chris dressed as Oliver Platt, myself, David Arquette, who was stunt doubled by Gregory. So when you see Arquette doing anything that looks like he knew what he was doing, that would be Mr. Helms, and Courtney Cox is in that picture. That was it was a really great time for us. We spent about 6 weeks out there, and it beat the hell out of our bodies, especially Chris. When you see him going over the top rope and going through that table, he did it 6 times. One after another. I mean, he literally was like a rubber band man. My favorite story of him getting a job, he keep telling me about this kid, this guy named Kidman. You got to see him. He can really, he's got a great work ethic. He loves the business. Kidman was about 150, maybe 65, 75 pounds at the time. And I was like, dude, I can't bring Eric any more people, He goes, just do me a favor. He just went over for 6 months. And he finally goes, just watch this finish. And he put the VCR, remember back when they had VCRs? He put the VCR in, and I saw Kidman do that shooting star press. And I was like, holy shit. Never saw that before. Pulled it out of the tape deck, walked down to Eric. We lived 2 houses away. I waited for a commercial to come up. I go, do you want to see an unbelievable finish? He goes, sure. I put it in. It happened. Eric goes, wow. He goes, what's he doing? I said, he's looking for a job. He goes, tell him $400 a week on a developmental deal. Eric Bischoff was doing developmental deals before anybody was. Now you've got, WWE does, Florida. There used to be OVW, but Eric was the one that started all that. And Kanyon was responsible for bringing a lot of those developmental deals up into there. And there's so many. The last thing I want to say here is, so many people have asked me, over and over again, who's your favorite guy to wrestle in the ring? And but the person to battle with, and of course, you think of Sting and Savage and Hall and Nash, but the very God's honest truth is, the guy I loved to work in the ring the most with was Chris. Was because we were both just about the same size. We worked so much together, training guys down at the camp, that we knew each other's move before we ever did it. So that's why it looked like we rehearsed it a million times, but we didn't. We could just flow. It was amazing. He was incredible in the ring. He was a great friend. He will be truly missed. And I love you, bro. And God bless you, because I'm sure that wherever you are, man, you're happier than where you are here. All right, man. God bless you and your family, man. Thank you. See you guys.